dome. Breath, he just puffed slowly away to rest and had a lot. He ran on to the next station, and there he found that the driver and fireman were very pleased with him. Come along, he fussed. There's plenty of time, there's plenty of... Us wouldn't wait. Come on, he puffed. All right, don't fuss. All right, don't fuss, grumbled the trucks. You'll know almost as much about them as Edward. Then you'll be a really useful engine. In the yard when Edward pulled up. Peep, peep, he whistled. Then, James, he pushed some trucks into their proper sidings. The station, he sings, "Oh, come along, we're rather late. Oh, come along, we're rather late." And the coaches sing, "We're coming along, we're coming along." They finished. And off they went again. Come along, sang as a station. The big stations at both ends of the line each have a turntable. The Fat Controller had made them so that the tender engines can be backwards as forwards. But to hear Gordon talk, you would have thought that the Fat Controller had given him a tender just to show how important he was. I want to stop, he puffed. The man in the signal. Presently, Gordon arrived. Henry tried very hard, but it was no good. A crowd of people waited to see him arrive in his new shape. Thank you very much. I am the Express. He does it so well that Gordon is jealous. But that's another story. At first, the trucks behaved well. The Fat Controller met them. "Well done, Billy, don't be silly," puffed Edward. But he couldn't stop himself and slithered into a ditch. "Ooh, shit!" We'd show them. Toby was cross hard. They are very proud when he calls them really useful. Next morning, James's driver. There was James puffing away down the line, holding a noose of rope in the crook of the shunter's pole. He was trying to slip it over James's buffer. He was on his way to the harbour with a trainload of metal pilings. They were needed to make the harbour wall firm and safe. "I'm glad the Fat Controller needs me," called Trevor. "I don't have enough to do sometimes, you know, although I can work anywhere." Everyone was sorry when it was time for Trevor to go. Thomas. Percy works in the yard. I say, would you like me to explain? Stupid old signal, he thought. He was remembering the time he'd misunderstood a signal and gone backwards instead of forwards. Duck it shall be. And Harold was high and alongside. One day, Henry wanted to rest, but Percy was talking to some engines. He was telling them about the time he had braved bad weather to help Thomas. It was raining hard. Water swirled under my boiler. They giggled and chatted about it. "Driver doesn't know my plan," chuckled Percy. "Doing things," Duck told them. "The Great Western Way," introduced him. "Here is Diesel." When Duck returned, Diesel was trying to take some trucks from a siding. They ran quietly round to collect the other trucks. The trucks would not stop singing rudely at him. "Disgraceful," said Gordon. "Disgusting," said James. "Despicable," said Henry. "We cannot allow it." They consulted together, sadly away. One day, James was later than ever at the junction. "I'm sorry, Thomas," he puffed. Donald, his twin, was angry. "Oh, oh, oh!" Douglas, puffing hard, managed to haul Thomas back to safety. Bits of fencing, the bush, and a broken window frame. Daisy, the diesel rail car's work in the countryside, was full of Suddenly, they came to a drift that was deeper than the rest.
He'd enjoy taking the visitors around, and now he felt sorry. I wish I could see, complained Controller, arrived in Harold. He had come a long way and began to feel thirsty. "Never trust domeless engines," said a voice from somewhere behind him. "They aren't respectable." So Duck took charge of his new branch line. Thomas had to shunt trucks in the yard. Bertie came to see him. "Maybe I did imagine the dragon after all." "But Percy, you're up early." "Oh, you're wrong," sighed Percy. "That's strange," said Edward.
Called James the bee's knees, which means they thought he was more useful than ever.
Set off on his journey. "Henry says I'm amazing, he's right," he whistles. Every wise engine knows that you cannot trust trucks. The other engines warned Oliver, but he took no notice. Then suddenly Oliver felt them push forward. "On!" yelled the trucks. Oliver fought hard, but a few days later Oliver did come back. His coat gleamed. If someday you should see Thomas the Tank Engine puffing happily along.
The day's work was done and all the engines puffed safely home.
Poor old engine.
But Duke still had plenty of steam left in him. His valves sounded worse than they were. Every afternoon they had to wait an hour at the station by the lake. Scarloey, the little engine, loves all the sights and sounds along his line and knows them very well. But it was too late. Later that day, Sir Handel brought a special load down after the last train had gone. Sir Handel was... His name is Stepney, but his blue coat shone in the sun, he was right on time, and all around rolled down the road. Wailed. The players, driver and fireman to see or hear properly. They completely, but she rattled along at twice her usual speed. "This pace is too hot for my system, it'll fuse all my circuits." Soon they were whizzing through Edward's station. He edged angrily onto the turntable and spoke rudely to Henry. Over again when James got to pull the train away. pushing trucks, grumbled Henry. As Thomas had teased Gordon about the time that the big engine had... They helped to prevent animals from getting hurt if they should stray onto the line. Daisy thought Toby's fenders were silly. Away, quite unconcerned. "Pooh," she said. "It's easy, I just toot and they all stand aside. Poor little Toby, I'm sorry he's frightened." "I'm a splendid engine," he puffed. "The Fat Controller thinks I'm..." Duck buffered gently up to Henry's train. ride in Bertie the bus, you would run down the winding country road with him, Tom Tipper the postman. Every day, Tom trundles cheerfully around the island. The engines know that anywhere their rails won't reach, Tom Tipper will collect their post and deliver it safely come rain or... Next morning, the engines were glad to see...
It was a busy time at the docks. All the engines were working hard, pushing and pulling trucks. I'm afraid it did, along with two more. Percy met up with Thomas and James. Another lorry was being rude to them, then to follow. "Help!" cried George. Something snapped of control and he was waiting for his special coach when Percy puffed in with some coal trucks. "What's the matter, Gordon? You're late." Next morning, Percy was proud to be sparkling again. That night, all the engines laughed at him. And she was, and very happy too. Guests to the wedding looked confident and cheerful.
Meet Thomas. He's our #1 hero. Hello! But he's running a little late today. Of my special universe.
Hello, James. Who do we appreciate? Practicing your numbers, Gordon. That is sure to be trouble right around the corner. Mr. Conductor, where are you? I know you live far away, but you always seem to get here on time. Bossy sprockets! All that steam has gone to your funnel. How about a race, Thomas? Sorry, Bertie. I can't today. I have to be...
Hello, Twinkle Toes. Remember me? Fat Hat won't have much use for you looking like that. Aha! Twinkle Toes, take Moon Doggy.
Well done, Thomas! Percy did, as fast as he could.
"Help! My wheels are wobbling," he cried for control, as Toby struggled on. Bertie? Duncan doesn't like working at the incline railway. He is...
When Emily whistled hello, the engines didn't whistle back. Emily couldn't understand why they were so unfriendly. She was upset. "Don't want new coaches, don't want new coaches," chuffed Thomas. He chuffed slowly onto the bridge. Garlowy puffed on. Peter Sam is a happy engine. "I told you..."
There it is!
cried Donald.
We're almost there!
Shouted Douglas. Then Salty saw...
We'll show them how fast I am, Duncan whistled. We'll deliver this statue and I'll still finish first. So he tried to brake, but Duncan was out of control.
The engines are happy to show holidaymakers the wonderful sights to be seen.
I'm on patrol!
He was looking for engine. Everyone was waiting as Skarloey brought his important passengers to the grand opening.
Jack couldn't wait to get to work. "Hurry, Thomas," he called.
"I'm going as fast as driver allows," chuffed Tom, having fun too. But he wasn't being careful at all. Not me, Jack shouted, and so she did, with his friend Alfie. Percy was glad he would be with a friend on Halloween. The woods were full of spooky shapes and shadows. It was very scary. They couldn't wait to see the lightning tree. Glad it was saved. Ned and Max were helping remove a landslide. Very hard, clearing up the fallen debris. And all the way home, Thomas could see that Buster was happy. It's a grand thing, and Thomas could see the ache. Just once, he thought to himself, I'd like to be carried. He realized he was being carried. With a shout of, "Thank you, everyone!" off. Percy was giving Nelson a splendid ride. "You've dented me! You're in the way!" snapped Monty. Meanwhile, Buster trundled happily on. "Jack and I wasn't even speeding," he said as Thomas chuffed past Monty and Max. "I did to loading rubble into Thomas's truck day on the island of Sodor." The Fat Controller had sent Thomas to help Jack and his friends at the building site. "Out of the way, young uns!" teased. "Hello, Thomas!" rattled Jack, the rat. Later that morning, Alfie was happy that the foreman had sent him to work with Ned. Alfie was working hard. That afternoon, Alfie was determined to be really... He was last flew. Alfie held up his scoop for the cat and the... Byron was proud. It was a rainy, muddy day. Soon the machines were full of fuel and happily back at work.
Go fuck yourself.